have the mic back?
Yeah, this is some uncharted waters for us as a group, as a staff. First of all, give Marquette a lot of credit. They came, they played with a sense of desperation. Cam coming off of not playing his last game, having a career day. Want to thank our crowd for coming out. I thought our crowd, our students, very, very grateful for that. We got to find a way to play better at home. You know what I mean? Our last 2 home games just haven't been good. It's not a good look, and that's not what we want. So, once again, very, very disappointed. Our energy, our effort, our connectiveness, and we got to figure that out. We got to figure that out. I don't like the feeling of our players. I don't like the feeling of this building. We got to do a better job as a staff. I got to do a much, much better job as the head coach, trying to get our guys get them connected, buy into where we're trying to go. We take 5 steps forward and 32 steps backwards. I definitely think we're connected. You cannot go on the road in an environment like Xavier. You can't go in an environment like Providence and not feel like your team isn't connected to fight the way we fight, and then come home to play in this. It's very disappointing. I'm disappointed in a lot of different things. Have 10 games left. We got to figure out. We got a lot of soul searching, mirror watching. It's just not like we can go grab a player here or there. We got to keep battling, keep fighting, not point fingers, and make sure we stay together.
And at this point, is it more disappointing that the defense is just as limited as it is, or that the offense threw the ball away as much as it did?
I think it's a combination of both. Jaden hadn't practiced all week. Wayne didn't practice. Trez, right now a little bit of flu is going through the team. If I can do it again, I wouldn't have played Jaden. He hadn't practiced since last Tuesday. Wayne didn't practice this week. Supreme and Don Trez. So we got a little bug going through us, but I didn't like our fight today. I didn't like our will. I didn't like I didn't like our physicality. And let's face it, Marquette had a lot to do with that. They're a top 10 team for a reason, and the Big East is a monster, but just disappointed.
You mentioned connectivity, and that was kind of the striking thing about that, is just how quickly things moved around. Was that, in your mind, the biggest contrast to this game?
Absolutely.
How dialed in they were.
Very dialed in. They're playing with a purpose. They're playing for a lot. They're playing for Big East regular season championship. They're playing for seeding. I want us to play for each other. I want us to play with pride, understanding, connectivity, and it just wasn't there. And it's very, very apparent that we weren't connected.
There was times today where even when you were 5 out, there was just no movement. It was stagnant. Was it something that they were doing, or was it that your guys were just stagnant?
There are times in our game where you're not going to play well. There are times where the ball doesn't go in. You look like you didn't practice for a month or 2. You normally get 2 or 3 of those games, but not at home like that. Not at home. Again, was it their defense? We'll take a look when we look at tape and film. I wish I had the answer. I wish I had the answer for everybody for us to continue to move in the right direction, and we will. Just today was one of those days, and I don't know why today was one, because I thought our 2 days of practice was pretty damn good.
Perimeter-wise, you gave up a lot of open shots. What would you attribute that to? Guys weren't even close enough.
Alertness. I would attribute their open shots to alertness, paying attention to detail and personnel, in our scouting. Their ball movement was pretty fast, and they got comfortable. Right now, I have to challenge my team with, people have to understand, there's got to be a fear. And right now, I don't feel that from my group, right? Hopefully that's something that we could address.
Were you disappointed with the straight line drives to the rim versus man end zone that happened repeatedly?
Ron, if I can tell you how disappointed I am right now, I don't have the words for it right now. I got to try to, some of our players are struggling, right? They're struggling. I got to do a great job and take my hat off as a coach and make sure I'm there for them as a mentor, somebody who has compassion and some empathy for what we're going through. But nobody's going to feel sorry for you. Nobody's feeling sorry. Teams are going to hope you play bad, and, they hope we crumble, but we're not going to give in to that. We're going to continue to battle. We're going to continue to fight. We're going to stay positive with them.
They're not the only team that's aggressive defensively out there, but the way they dial things up on defense, the deflections, what's the biggest challenge for a team like yours, the way it's built, to get quality offensive possessions?
Show some film, show where we can make some slight improvements on ball movement, floor spacing, basket cutting, playing off of 2 feet. We had 6 turnovers that just for whatever reason, they were just uncalled for. And 20-0 in the first half in turnover of points, those are pick sixes that you can't recover from those, especially when you're struggling to score, knowing you're not as healthy. So that's the frustrating part. But I want to make sure we stay positive. The coach is going to stay positive. As frustrated as people may get with respect to how we've played, that's part of the maturation of growth, of transition, of development. Yeah, we're game 20-something. Sometimes things just take time, and hopefully we can get there when it's all said and done.
And I guess big picture, the biggest challenge of trying to build something against the Big East the way it's constructed this season, where everybody's pretty damn good.
Everybody's good. That's why we're here. That's why I want the challenge, right? The beauty of this is sticking together, overcoming some adversity, understanding that we're not going to go backwards. We're not going to feel sorry for it. We're going to keep fighting. We're going to keep fighting. We're going to come at it, right? We got tomorrow off, right? Take Sunday off. We'll get back at it Monday, practice Tuesday, get ready for an incredible environment down in Newark and play Seton Hall, right? Play Seton Hall. We played them great the first time. Let's see if we can respond. But we'll challenge our men to get better.
Moving forward, this stretch, you got 3 games in a week. How do you help the locker room regroup after a tough loss?
Right now, I can't be a coach. Right now, I got to be a caretaker, right? And again, this is where you got to be a great person to 22 to 23, 24-year-olds. Take off your head coach hat. Make sure you're there for them. Let them know, okay, it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to do this, but how we're going to improve. So right now, you need to be a caretaker, not a coach.
You mentioned it kind of early on about how this isn't something you're familiar with either. I went back and looked. I have a decent idea how long it's been since you've been in this life like this. How do you deal with it? How much of a challenge is it for you and your staff to sort of navigate that when it's not something you're familiar with doing very much either?
We have incredible support from Lee Reed, our athletic director. We have incredible support from Jack DeJoya. And I can feel the angst of some of our people of like, is this the same? What's going on here? Boom, boom, boom. That's the challenge of change. And sometimes it's not as quick as everybody wants it to be. And I knew coming in that this would be probably the hardest challenge I've had as a head coach. And that's okay. You know what? My toughest day as a head coach is somebody, if not one, 1,000,000 people's dream. Somebody would dream to be in this seat to go through what we're going through. So I'm not going to complain about it. My staff better not complain about it. Our supporters, I get it, and I'm grateful for what they do. But at the end of the day, this is part of a change, and this is part of growth and development. This is the pain we got to go through to get where we're going to go. And a lot of people may be skeptical of that, but I thrive on skepticism. I thrive on challenges. I, meaning we as a staff. All right, it's been a while, and that's okay. I'm looking forward, and it'll come sooner than people think, where the road will be a little bit more rosier. Right now, it's a lot of bumps, a lot of cracks, a lot of crevices. It's rough right now. It's rough. But you know what? My toughest day, I promise you, is somebody's lottery ticket is a dream. So I'm living in that dream with them. I just got to make sure we right the ship.
Are there early lessons in your time at Providence and Fairfield that you can apply here?
Absolutely. Not just there, Boston College, right? When we took over a program there, we had lost a lot, and we got to continue to fight, and that's where people got to stick with you. They stick with you, right? I mean, and again, because of the change, being the first coach in the history of the league to transfer within the league, there's a lot of people saying, laughing and giggling and see, I told you. That's okay. That's part of the love I love about this opportunity, right? I love this opportunity. I'm going to relish this. I say I as an organization, not I, me, the individual. This is where you find out who your real road dogs are. This is where you find out where the real people are that trust you. I trust Lee. I trust Jack. I trust our staff. We're just not as good as we need to be today. But there's always tomorrow. There's always another week. There's always another game. Until the very last game of this season, I trust and I believe, right? And I appreciate all the fans keep coming out. And let's face it, the last 2 home games, we have played absolutely shitty. Really bad. Really, really bad. I'm not taking that away. And I'm in charge of that, and I'll hold myself accountable to that. Not gonna run, not gonna hide. I'll deal with the music in front of me, but let me tell you something. That music's gonna sound really, really good. I'm gonna relish that music. Make sure they play some R&B.
Hall and Oates, is there any chance? No.
I tell you what, don't sleep. Hall and Oates was pretty good. Hall and Oates wasn't bad, but I'm gonna roll on the other side, a little R&B. All right, appreciate you guys.
Thank you.